You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play Star Wars podcast. My name is Adam and I'm your host, and today's episode will be brought to you after these words from our sponsors. Oh no!
Learning and play, we're making friends every day. It's Tiny Tikus.
I love my Roy, he's my best friend.
It's Tiny Tikus.
Hi, I'm Mikey. I'll be the GM for this one, so hold on to your hats. We're playing Tiny Tikus again. We've slightly changed the rules, and I'll be putting those on the website when this goes out. My players from last time are back, and I'd like them to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about their characters.
Hello everybody, my name is Adam and I am delighted to be returning as everybody's favourite pocket-sized pal. It's Tiny Tikus! Hello! It's so good to be here. I'm 7 years old now and I'm living in Cynabale and I've got more places for the sand to get in. It's all part of the miracle of growing up. My wattle's nearly grown out, that's lovely. My mum and dad are still making weapons and droids for bad people and I'm learning the family trade and I've got many new toys to play with, as we'll find out as we get rolling. And I'm joined as always by my very best friend.
Hi, I'm Roy. I'm his best friend. Yeah, none of you. Me. I'm his best friend. Yeah. I've been around a few more years now. I've got some new upgrades. Yeah, check me out. Learn a few more things. Getting better at morality. Yeah, I'm just here to have a good time and look off the bar.
Who's next, Roy?
Oh, Tin Can. You. Mandalorian. You. Buckethead.
I'm Rob. I'm playing Drenzo Ness, the littlest Mandalorian. He's now got a real helmet he's very happy about, as much as you made fun of his bucket. And he's here to try not to get in trouble.
And speaking of people who are trying not to get in trouble...
Hi, I'm Lou, and I'm playing Rissik, the little Trandoshan who really doesn't want to get in trouble, but with Tikus around, that's quite hard, and I keep getting grounded. I'm getting labelled a troublemaker. Even though I don't make any trouble, it's all his fault.
I mean, in my defense, you have to see the trouble to be able to know where to avoid it. So, if you don't find it, you might accidentally fall into it, so you kind of have to find it first.
I like to think I'm helping us all get formative life experiences.
I like the idea that that's a key phrase that you've been taught to use now.
Yeah, by Roy.
It has been shouted at you a few times, I'm going to
My mum says it's character building.
My mum gave me my first confirmed kill badge after our last trip out.
Yay!
Excellent.
Well done.
I'm now an official war criminal.
Happy murder day to you. Happy first murder day to you. You've murdered your first bad guy. Soon we'll make it number 2.
I might not even start the game, you just keep going. Even for the Outer Rim, Cynabale is isolated, but not completely inaccessible. Cynabale is known for being much, much easier to visit than to leave, but even knowing that, people still come to Cynabale with a hope of a better life. The azure blue sands, worn down by remnants of long-forgotten destinies, are rumoured to hide treasures of the past. These treasure seekers huddle together in ramshackle cities, trawling through the discarded remnants of long-dead civilizations in a hope of finding loot to, ironically, escape Cynabale. One such city is Redies, a sprawling metropolis of squat white buildings, with a mix of naive, hopeful and desperate, who all congregate to find a better life. It is the middle of the night, but the city is still thriving. Redies rarely sleeps, as the planet lives and dies over the worry of a missed opportunity. The camera pans over to Bar's Bespoke Blasters, a building fashioned out of the remnants of a long-forgotten freighter. We glide towards the back of the shop, and we see a reasonably sided, freestanding room. A shed, if you will. Light streams out from under the door, and we can hear a discussion from within. Tikus, Drenzo, Rissik, and Roy stand around a half-constructed soapbox pod racer, clearly not ready for the annual Redies Junker Cup the following morning. A vital part, the control stabilizer, sits on the table, blackened and destroyed, by a recent fire. Surprisingly, the gang are not arguing about the incomplete vehicle. Clutching in one of his arms, Tikus holds a datapad, on it which is an entry form for the race. The first question has stumped them. Team name. What are you going to call yourselves?
So, I reckon we should call ourselves the 4 Arms of Ba, because, there's 4 of us, and I've got 4 arms.
But one of those arms is yours.
Doesn't that make it 10 arms?
Oh, there's not 10 of us, Roy. I can count that far without having to take my shoes off, because I've got 4 arms, and each one has some fingers, an indeterminate number, because I choose not to bow down to the need to conventionally count things.
That's why you don't do well at school.
I don't do well at school, because I'm far more interested in things outside the classroom.
That explode.
Yeah, mostly or go fast. Or we could be things that go fast and explode.
I'm not sure the end part of that is really something. I mean, sometimes you want the name to be, a stylized version of what you can live up to. And that ain't so great.
It's realistic, though.
Don't tell Rissik's mom.
I'm not allowed to talk to Rissik's mum. Last time I went round, I spoke to her, and after about half an hour, she ran away, clutching her head, going, "Get him out of here! He won't stop talking. The pitch of his voice and his cadence is causing me a great deal of scale ache. Go, go, go." Then Rissik's dad went at me with a broom, and then I grabbed hold of the broom with all my limbs, and he shook me around and called me an evil monkey lizard. He said I'd look good on a spit. Do your parents eat people, Rissik?
I don't know.
Does it depend on what we consider people?
Probably.
Oh, that's much more reassuring.
Trandoshans tend to eat what they hunt, so yeah, sometimes.
Wookie.
It's gamey. It is gamey. Difficult to prepare. Your best bet is to case them in clay, then cook them underground, because shaving a Wookiee is... I'm getting beside myself, so this team name?
I don't know. Hey, Bucket Boy, you got any ideas? You look kind of pensive. At least I think you look pensive. I can't really tell.
Do you need to poo?
No, I went before I came out.
That doesn't stop Tikus.
I was told that we now have to call it making boom boom.
Why? That makes no sense.
He's dropping bombs.
And not in the lyrical sense.
No, your rap is dreadful.
It is. I've never quite mastered it. I can't speak lyrics like Roy can.
And I don't have any spit.
What a woeful state of affairs. So far I'm hearing a lot of support for things that go fast and explode.
I'm not hearing that. I am not supporting the things that go fast and explode.
How about just the things that go fast? Because the exploding is something we don't want to do, but going fast is something we do want to do.
What if the things that explode are the other pod racers in the soapbox derby? Because I'm of course going to fit this with quad-barrel plasma cannons. Little tiny ones.
How about the plasma cannons?
Oh, yeah, that could work. I'm happy with the plasma cannons.
Sounds good to me.
Roy?
Hey, we have a consensus. I'm happy.
No exploding.
Yeah. Team name, the Plasma Cannons. Name of racer.
How about we just call it the cannon?
The Plasma Cannons cannon.
Or the big gun? Yeah, I'm going for a theme here. Help me out, Bucket Boy.
Hey, that's really loud. Just because it rings like a bell, you don't hit the person's helmet over and over and over and over again.
Well, I can never tell when you're annoyed. I can't see your face.
I'm never annoyed, or I'm always annoyed, I forget.
Is that your secret? You're always Schrodinger's angry.
That is a good word. I'm gonna get you a chocolate for that word.
We could call the cart the Schrodinger's angry.
I think people were gonna have trouble saying that out loud.
Or just the angry.
The Mahogany Bogwing.
No.
Alright, I want you to picture your racer coming round a corner, overtaking someone. It's something that can be said quickly as people are trying to keep up with what's going on.
The blaster?
I'm gonna put a vote for Blaster. Anyone else?
Okay, I'm happy with the blaster.
What colour are we going to paint it? And then it could be like the red blaster, or the green blaster, or the silver blaster.
Red ones go faster.
True. The red blaster?
The Scarlet Blaster.
Sold.
Are we definitely painting it red, because this is red, yes, and it's blue.
I got a feeling it might be red by the time the race is finished anyway, but you know.
I think it's going to be black.
Okay, so the Scarlet Blaster so far. I'd like you now to tell me a little bit about the racer. Essentially, we're going to build the racer together. To do that, you have 10 points to distribute around 5 skills. The skills are really quite simple. You have speed, which is how fast it will go. Acceleration, which is how quickly it will get to that speed. Shoot, however many weapons you have. Steer, which is how to turn it. And chassis, which is basically its wounds. You can put 0 in any of them, which is fine. Doesn't necessarily mean they will stop working, but it does mean that if anything takes it below that 0, then there's a problem. You can put 2 in every single thing if you want. Essentially, these will be extra dice when using the racer on your own skills. So you just tell me what you want to be good in, and there could be the opportunity to upgrade that as we go on.
Well, we've got to go raid a scrapyard anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a new power coupling and thrustmaster.
You, in fact, need to go and get a control stabilizer.
That's the one.
I mean, there are other things. So how would you like to break that down? I'm going to ask Adam, seeing as he's the engineer.
My initial thoughts are shoot of 3, speed of 3, acceleration of 3, chassis of 1, and steer of 0, because it goes fast and it explodes. Because I think that's certainly where Tikus would start, because he wants things that go very fast and go bang. And he's never been particularly good at the whole
finesse.
Yeah, finesse is not his strong point.
Does anybody want to argue against that? I'm quite happy with that as it is.
I think we need to know how to turn.
Nah, just go fast.
I'm pretty sure if you can't turn, you're gonna go really fast into a wall.
We just shoot the wall.
There are a few turns on the Junker Cup racecourse. I mean, it does go into the dunes, so you can. There's nothing that can stop you from really just bypassing certain turns, as long as you go through the checkpoints.
All right, I've got a life lesson for you.
And he takes one of the guns that's not been fully attached to the cart yet and goes and puts it outside. Theoretically, all Bar's got to do is go round a bin that's outside to get to the gun.
Hey Bar, if without any steering potential you can get to this gun, you can have it. But if you can't steer it, you're gonna need to work on the steering before I give you the gun. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds really good.
Okay, I'm gonna stay here because I feel, without the steering, I'm in a perfectly safe spot.
Okay. Now we don't have the steering linkage coupling.
I can push it.
Yeah, and I'll lean over and I'll just use my hands to push it along as well, so like a bobsleigh. Drenzo, I need you to go right at the very, very front, and I need you to grip the front of it and lean forward, because you're the only one with a crash helmet, or as I like to term it today, a battering ram. We'll show who needs steering.
I would like to suggest that this potentially doesn't have a great deal of steering, but it is all based on weight distribution. So yeah, that's how it works.
Okay. Clamber onto the front.
Okay, Rissik. Actually, I'll get out with you as well, and we'll both just... Oh no, I need to steer. Let me see if I can lean over from the back with you. Just about. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Leg it! And we're going to attempt to go in a straight line, smashing the obstacle out of the way with Drenzo's head.
I would like a roll then. You have a steering of 0, so no dice added to your roll. You're trying to bash it out the way rather than steer, so I would argue that brake is probably your roll you need to roll.
Do we all roll?
Yeah, what's the pool? Because it's me and Rissik running, and then Drenzo.
Yeah, I think I'd be happy for you all to add brake to it all, and just basically all roll a brake and see how many 6s you get.
I think that Roy's life lesson might be one we're learning, because I got no successes and a 1 on my wild die.
Drenzo got No successes, and a 1 on his wild die.
Rissik got 1 success, but it is on the wild die.
Okay. So this bad thing, Rissik, that's going to happen to everybody is not going to happen to you, because you notice that they are going down a dark path and are quite happy to, if you want, to just stop pushing at the opportune moment. Because Red Yes is a fairly flat place, but there's been a fair bit of work done to Bar's bespoke blasters. A few underground rooms and the like, so there is a slight amount of subsidence here. And what you realise as you start pushing is that you are pushing downhill. Not a great deal of a hill, but enough of a hill to get the cart running. And it slightly gets away from you, Rissik, but that's fine, because they are trundling at quite some speed now. Guys, the good news is you do knock over the gun and knock it out the way, but you don't stop at that point. And the racer trundles at increasing speed and then comes to a very sudden and very final stop against the back of Bar's bespoke blasters. Wheel pops off and bounces away in that Terminator style whenever everything breaks sort of way. The steering wheel itself comes off in your hand. You don't seem to have hurt yourselves. In fact, Drenzo, your helmet fits better than it ever has, because you are a battering ram. And you did do very well against the house. There is a slight dent in the wall. And now your helmet fits especially well. It may not necessarily come off very easily, but it fits especially well.
Grand.
Okay, I see that you've done quite well, but if you could back the truck off and get the racer off my face, that would be really good.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Despite there being an almighty crash and a bong as Drenzo hit the wall of Bar's Bespoke Blasters quite significantly, and as mentioned before, the Bar's Bespoke Blasters is built off of the back of a somewhat dismantled freighter, so it was a bulkhead and a Mandalorian helmet that came together. No lights come on. It's quite late, but it looks like Tikus is given a certain amount of autonomy to do what he feels when he's doing his engineering projects.
That's irresponsible parenting.
He has a key to the house. Tikus is a latchkey kid, unfortunately.
And also, I've got my Roy to make sure everything's being taken care of and that I'm learning correctly.
Oh yeah, no injuries that take longer than 3 weeks to heal.
They're very, very clear about that one.
They count his fingers every day.
Drenzo is now very confused by the fact there seems to be 8 arms on Tikus and 2 Roys.
I think, though, I see your point, Roy. And since the steering wheel's come off and we're going to need to do some more repairs, we might need to look into that.
Not too far away from where you are is, and on any other planet it would be called a junkyard. It calls itself Quality Wrecks and Salvage. It's owned by a chap called Zell Newman, and he looks after his stash with high fences and droid dogs and other less savoury things. But you're sure you'll be able to get a new steering column? You're sure you'll be able to get a control stabiliser? You just need to nip in and borrow one, if you're feeling brave.
No.
Yes! Let's go!
If we don't do this, Rissik, then we won't be able to enter the race. We've broken even more things now. I think you'll be alright, because, we only have to run faster than the slowest person, and all I can do is waddle.
That doesn't make sense.
But I'm not afraid, because robot dogs like me, because Roy will kill them.
I'm kind of a pack leader.
Let's go get some stuff!
Yeah, scavenger hunt! Oh, brilliant! Oh, great, right. I'm just gonna go get the snacks.
Yay, juice boxes!
Hey!
So while Roy's getting us some juice boxes and some raisins in a little box and some Nomi crisps and things, what do we need? So we need the power coupling, we need a new steering column. Do we think that maybe we can get an actual pod racing engine to pull us along?
I think that's cheating, so we should look to see if they do have one, but hide it. And
Yeah.
fins. Fins are cool.
Oh, yeah. Definitely we need some fins on there. So, I think that the best way to do this, and we'll ask Roy when Roy gets back, is we each of us, outside of the things we definitely need to make it work at all, we each nominate a thing we want to find and put on
because this is a group project and we all deserve to have our own little bit of individuality in it. Individuality? That's a word.
It is now.
So while you think about that, I'm going to star wipe. And the first thing you experience, not necessarily see, you experience is the sound of a juice box being emptied. And we see 4 individuals, 3 children and a droid, standing quite close to the fence at the back of the Quality Wrecks and Salvage. There is a fence around the place. There are droids that periodically wander past. They don't seem to be on full alert, but these are droid dogs, so they're fairly simple things. What do you do?
Do we reckon we can climb over, or do we dig under?
It's about 8 foot tall, this fence. You could probably climb over.
I don't think we should cut through the fence, because that way there'd be nothing stopping the robo-dogs coming after us.
Yeah, so we should climb over. And you're tall, Roy. You can lift us, each one of us up to get us most of the way there.
You shouldn't throw Tikus like a beach ball.
Don't throw him.
We've had that conversation, haven't we, Roy?
I'm just trying to phrase it in a child-friendly way, but I can't, yeah. Yeah. No tossing that, no. I don't get it.
Don't punt the basilisk.
Okay then, so if you're going to try and help them over, it really depends on what Roy decides to do to decide on what everybody else decides to do. So if you want to use your strength to carefully pick them up and put them on the other side of the fence at the top so they can climb down, you can use a break roll. However, if you want to throw them over a little bit, then you can use your shoot roll.
What would I have to roll if what I wanted to do was place them all at the top of the fence like perching pigeons? Cut the fence, walk through, and then lift them down carefully.
I think break to get them to the top very, very easily. And then possibly if you do very well on that, you can cut the fence automatically.
Okay.
So right, I will roll break to try and lift them up.
So hold on tight, guys.
You're not rolling against anything, I just need successes. You're looking for 6s.
Yeah, I've got 2 6s, including 1 on the wild dice.
Okay, so you very easily pick everybody up, because they're only 7-year-olds, and plant them at the top of the fence in close succession. In fact, in short order enough that they don't really have time to climb down the other side before you've done it. And as luck would have it, never mind cutting through the fence, you see here by one of the stakes that hold it up that there has been a little bit of a degradation of the metal, and you can just peel it back and walk through.
Absolutely, with perfect comic timing but no comic actions. He realises that that's the safest way to get the kids up. They can climb over the fence. I'll walk through and help them climb down.
Without really looking at where and how Roy got across and to the other side, Roy helps you down to the other side of the fence. You're all standing inside the wrecker's yard. Roy standing there looking somewhat pleased with himself, his little tongue flapping away.
Okay, now, this is a group adventure. I am the morally responsible parent figure. I want to make sure that if any of you get lost, you know to do we need a shout so that I come running. Help ought to do it, actually. Help is fine. So shout loudly.
I should describe the wrecker's yard. The wrecker's yard, whilst the fence is about 8 foot tall, all of the junk is also about 8 foot tall. You're in essentially a maze of junk and parts and broken ships, broken devices, ancient things that probably came from a bygone age. It's essentially just a place for somebody to keep all of his stuff, and all of his stuff that he hasn't decided whether it has value or not. It is a huge place. You would probably say 300 yards across either way. So there is a lot of stuff here. And the alleyways made from the junk are probably only a couple of yards across each. So it's very easy to get lost. So what are you looking for?
Okay, so the shopping list so far...
It was a power coupling, wasn't it, Mikey? Am I going mental?
Control stabilizer.
Control stabilizer. For some reason, that will not stick in my head. So I'm going to write it on my shopping list.
Just think of the 2 things that we don't have, control and stability.
Yes.
Okay, so the essential things we have to have for the cart to work at all. We need a control stabilizer, and we need a steering linkage and wheel. Now, what I would like for the cart is I would like a junkapult, so we can fire handfuls of junk at the opposing teams, so they can get out of our way and maybe crash. I think that's within the rules, because we're not allowed to use any black powder, chemical propellants, or blaster technology, but they never said anything about us just yeeting handfuls of nuts and bolts at people, so we should be fine.
Tikus knows that every single racer, despite the terms and conditions you signed to say you're not allowed to use them, have gunpowder, projectiles and blaster technology. All of them do. It's not even a keep it to yourself sort of thing. It's a, you can do what you like, but you have signed this thing in case we have to reprimand you.
Oh, in that case then I want a rotary barreled blaster cannon. Go large or go home, right?
Can you use that safely?
No, but I can use it. The guns, Roy, they're inherently unsafe things and shouldn't be in the hands of children. Unless the child is me and I'm learning the family trade, which I technically am, so it's all right. I checked the book.
And remember the song?
Don't shoot people. It's not nice to do. Also, buckle up, buddy. Seatbelts. Seat belts.
A harpoon gun.
Yeah.
With like a big anchor that we could harpoon them and then drop the big heavy thing off the back.
Oh, or if we need to turn a really tight corner, we could fire the harpoon in the wall and spin around.
And that'll make up for it not having much steering.
And we also want fins.
Fins, because fins are cool.
Ramming spikes.
You want ramming spikes?
Ramming spikes.
Okay.
So if we hit them, if we hit the others, then we can like jab them.
Oh, now you're getting into the spirit of things.
We are gonna have steering, right? We learnt that lesson, right?
We're getting the fins, because they help with the steering.
And we're getting a steering linkage in it, so we will be able to steer a bit.
Yeah.
Better than before?
Oh yeah, definitely better than before. Before the steering linkage was broken entirely.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else you want on your shopping list? Remember, you only have one night to put all this together.
Yeah, be fine.
I'm to understand Basilisks don't necessarily need sleep. No, they do. No, they do.
It depends entirely on how much sugar Roy feeds me.
And caffeine.
Have we got paint?
Paint.
Your parents should have that in the shop, and I don't know why I've stolen your accent.
Very infectious.
Give it back, Bucket Boy!
And we need to make sure we got plenty of jitter beans. I'm going to be working an all-nighter on this one.
I'm not supposed to have those.
That's okay, I'll have your share. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. It'll be absolutely fine. You might need to steer and drive tomorrow, though, because I might be a little bit,
Punchy.
yeah.
Okay.
This could be your moment to shine.
I don't think so.
I believe in you, Rissik. You'll be the most amazingest pilot there ever was.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to all roll a seek roll to have a look around the junkyard. So if you roll d6s equal to your seek stat, and then let me know what you've got, and let me know how you've done on your wild dice as well, and we will see how many things that you find.
Once again, Rissik only has 1 6, but it is on the wild die.
Nice.
I am, because you said in the rules, Mikey, that we have 2 specials, and we can define them as and when we need them. I'm going to activate one of my 2 specials straight away, and the special I'm activating is Child of Dangerously Irresponsible Gadgeteers, to give me an extra dice on my seek roll, as I know what I'm looking for.
What seek have you got at the moment?
I have a seek of 3.
Okay, I'm not going to give you an extra dice on your seek roll, but I am going to say that 5s and 6s count as 6s.
That is 2 6s, including my wild die.
So that's 2 wild dice 6s, and in total 3 successes. Everybody else?
1 success from Drenzo.
Nothing from Roy. He's too busy watching everybody else.
So, with that amount of successes and that amount of 6s on your wild dice, I think we're going to come across something that we really want to see.
It's a crashed X-Wing.
Oh, this'll do.
It is not a crashed X-Wing.
It's
Aww.
already got red paint and fins on it as well. It would have been perfect.
Oh, it's only a TIE fighter. Let's find something else.
They fall apart as soon as you look at them. Our literal cardboard cart is more resilient than a TIE fighter and steers better. Though they are better at going fast and exploding, I'll give them that.
You just end up with a TIE fighter with a plot on the front.
It's a TIE fighter on wheels.
It doesn't take you too long, and you head towards the centre of the maze. As you round a corner, you stumble across a boost engine, a very large boost engine. And as you walk a little bit closer, you realise the boost engine is attached to something which would have, if it was working, be referred to as an ugly starfighter. And I'm not saying that it's not pretty, I'm saying it's several starfighters welded together to make one. You see wings of what is probably not an X-Wing, but possibly a prototype of it. You see the cockpit of something Imperial. It might not necessarily be a TIE fighter, but something very similar. And you see the engines of... I'll be honest, it looks like they've attached freighter engines to the back of this thing. Not all of them, but still, a freighter booster on it. It is a hideous thing. But it does have fins. And it does have a dual laser, but a ship dual laser. And it does have large pieces of metal which could be used as an anchor. And this landing gear is hydraulic. You could probably make a harpoon gun out of it.
Sweet.
So there is a lot to work on here. Now I'd like Tikus just to do me a seek roll separately, please.
Okay. A 6 and a 5.
That'll do me. The thing you notice, I mean, everybody else is kind of, this can do very nicely, but the thing you notice pretty much immediately is just in front of it, there is a droid. It is a small droid, so maybe not everybody else noticed it, and it looks like it might be a Gel 360 droid. It is not off, but it is a little bit powered down. It looks like it's hiding behind one of the boost engines.
Well, first of all, this will mostly do. Let's see if there's any paint on it. But, oh, look, there's a wee cowardling droid there. Hello, are you alright there? Hello?
I'm not here, says the droid.
Roy, I'm having a philosophical quandary.
No, you're not.
Here we go.
I'm not here.
This droid is making me doubt my own perceptive of reality.
You can't see me.
One of us is wrong and I'm not sure who anymore. I'm losing grip.
It arches up one of its eyebrows and just looks up at you very slightly, and then crouches back again. Nope.
What do we got here? What do we got?
Nothing. I'm not hiding. I am hiding. You can't see me.
I'm stumped. Rissik, Drenzo, I need your advice. Come to me, my closest advisors.
That doesn't sound evil at all.
Drenzo is going to pick the droid up. Gotcha!
It shakes ever so slightly as you pick it up. Gel 360 droids are droids attached to hover platforms to push them around. It's not attached to a hover platform, but it's tiny. It's probably about the same size as a soccer ball. It is. It's not round, but it has kind of attachy arms and a very expressive face with little eyebrows.
Look a bit like Johnny Five.
Yeah, a little bit like Johnny Five, isn't it, in the head? Uh-oh. You can see me, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, no. I'm hiding.
Not very well.
Well, I'm hiding from you. Hi!
But we found you.
Hi!
Hello.
My name is PR1E. How are you?
Grand?
What?
I don't know anymore. I'm having an existential crisis. Roy, can I have a juice box?
1 second, I just gotta fix this. Here's a juice box. And here's some raisins.
His blood sugar's low.
And I didn't forget you. I've got some dried meat for you, Rissik, because I
Yay!
know you eat a lot of meat.
And I'm not allowed sugar after dark.
Bucket, do you want the raisins or the jerky?
Raisins!
My name's PR1E. I'm not called Bucket.
Shut up, they're my raisins.
There we go. Okay, Bar?
Does PR1E exist?
It puts its head on one side like a bemused puppy.
Yeah, he does, because if 2 of your friends can see him too, it's either a group or mass hallucination, in which case joining in is fun, or they're real.
Oh, well, I'm reassured.
I think I exist, if that helps.
Can I give him some oil? I'm assuming there's some oil around here because it's a junkyard.
you've got oil in you. You could just
Yeah, but that's my oil. He can't have my oil.
Like a mama bird to a baby
Yeah,
bird.
exactly.
No.
Just your long snout opens up, your tongue flips
I'm
down.
not breastfeeding another droid, okay? I'm going to get someone else's oil.
Tikus always has oil on him.
Okay.
He always has oil on him.
Do you want some oil?
Yeah. Can I have some oil?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Or raisins, or a juice box.
I'm going to stick a multicoloured straw in a small pot of oil and pass it to the droid.
There you go.
It's got kind of clubby hands because they're used to carry things, but it kind of holds it like this and goes like that and then sticks it in his neck. Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, he says again.
Hi.
I'm PR1E,
You said.
and you are supposed to say what your names are now.
I'm Tikus Bar.
No! We don't use our real names when we're on a mission.
Oh,
All right, I'm Dave. What mission are we on?
You're not on a mission.
Yes, I am.
What mission are you on?
I don't know. What mission are you on?
Classified.
I'm on a classified mission.
Oh.
Adam, PR1E seemingly is, I mean, if he didn't come across from how we were speaking, quite damaged. It looks like he's got some blaster scoring down the side of him.
oh, you're all hurt. We should probably patch you up, Pierre. That can't be nice. Who shot you?
I can't remember.
Was it to do with your classified mission?
I don't know. Roy, is it to do with my classified mission?
I think if you've been hurt, we can declassify the mission. Yep, those are the rules that I've just discovered.
Okay. I was making friends, and then this guy tried to kill me, or shoot me, or run. He wasn't happy with me. He found me in a place, and then I ran away. I don't really remember.
I've been there. I think we've all been there, in fact.
Yeah, I like making friends, though.
Well, that's good. We like making friends too. Would you like to be our friend?
I can't make you my friend, but I could make, he turns towards Roy. You my friend.
I want to be friends with you. Not if you're not friends with Bar.
Okay.
We appear to have hit an impasse.
If you're not going to be friends, you can go away.
Oh no, I want to be friends. I just can't make you my friends.
Are you using like in the literal sense, like Mum does?
I'm confused.
He turns his head on the other side and he goes, I don't understand.
She builds droids.
Oh, I make friends.
At Bar saying that his mother builds droids, he's a sigh of relief about that was how you make friends, as opposed to the more biological sense.
He quite obviously seems a little bit on the confused side.
Okay, I'll see if I can fix PR1E here and repair some of the damage. If the rest of you want to have a look over this ugly and see how much of it we can nick, and maybe we can even fly it out of here. All subtle like.
And Tikus reaches up and taps his nose with one of his many arms.
Okay, well, we'll go to the ugly first. The ugly is not flyable out of here. It's in a couple of pieces, but what you could probably quite easily do is pull off the bits that you need. It's at that point where it's quite easy to pull things off of it. It is not well maintained. Some of the bits are perfectly fine. He's probably, when he gets round to it, the junkyard owner, Zell, is going to get a load of money out of this if it wasn't already stripped by you many months before. So it is simply just a matter of finding... In fact, you've got a Gel 360 droid. You could probably just find a hover platform around here and then just pile stuff on it.
Well, that's narratively convenient.
It is, isn't it? You know what's weird? I didn't think about that until just now. So if you guys want to start piling stuff onto the cart, you can quite happily get yourself something you can make into a harpoon. You can quite happily get the control panel. You can get fins. You can get ramming spikes. What else was there on there? Oh, and the dual laser. Adam, do me a gadget roll.
I shall.
Also, could anybody who fancies it do me a gadget roll as well to break stuff away from the... Or a break roll, depending on what you fancy.
Let's all do it.
Drenzo will use gadget.
Are 5 still counting for me, or have they gone?
No, they've gone.
In which case, that is a single 6.
Okay.
And nothing else of relevance on the wild dice.
I'll come back to your roles in a second, guys, but Adam, you go over to the droid and he relinquishes a control panel to allow you to interface in to see what sort of damage he's got. You've seen a lot of droids before, and this one is unusual. Whereas you can see the matrix of droids' personalities and their code very simply, this one is, the best way of describing it is convoluted. It looks like they've added the droid personality of one droid over the top of another one, over the top of another one, over the top of another one, without removing the personality beforehand. It looks like it has been overpowered almost.
Yeah. I have just twigged that his thing is not Prix as in Grand Prix, but in fact, Perry.
It might be... I mean, that was a long time ago. Who knows where all the droids went?
Yeah. It's a flight risk call-out.
Yeah.
So, hello to our friends from Flight Risk. You monsters.
He's good at making friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very, very convoluted code. He doesn't seem to be particularly injured. The scoring on him is superficial, but there is something wrong with him, the vast amount of code that he has in here. It's a small droid, it shouldn't be this complicated.
How meta would it be for Tikus to realise that maybe there's a virality to this code and put a block so that he can't infect Roy?
I think with one success, you could probably realise there was a virality to the code, but I don't think with only one success you'd be able to put a block in there.
Could I make a smarts roll then to...
Yeah.
Then I will do that. It's a shame that my special's not in effect, because on my 5 dice I got 3 6s and 2 5s.
Well, 3 6s is great. There's an easy way of doing it with your successes. You can just take away his stomp point, which will stop him from interfacing into any droid. Or with your 3 successes, all the successes, you can just tell him that Roy is off limits.
I'll do that instead, because I don't want to neuter him.
Yeah.
And like stomp ports are fine. Tikus is still very, very much pro.
Yeah.
I mean, even at this formative stage, he's still extremely pro droid rights and pro self-realization for droids. And I think that taking away a scomp port from them is too far. But making sure he can't infect Roy, that's...
The easiest way to do that is he has just created a new file under Roy. And all you really need to do is change a little bit of data in there to make him think that Roy is organic.
Yeah, I will do that.
That's going to be fun.
Okay, what does everybody get on the stripping the ugly in the way of their rolls?
I got 1 success on break and nothing of consequence on the wild die.
Okay.
Drenzo got 3 6s on gadget and a 4 on his wild die.
Okay.
I got 1 6 on gadget. Gadget and break are the same to me, so I decided to go for gadget.
Okay. So, I mean, that's a fair number of dice, so you can actually pull everything you require off there. But just to explain what's going on, obviously, Drenzo, having seen Starfighters before, knowing what he needs to pull off, he's very carefully unscrewing things with a multi-tool he has on him, making sure things get off, and piling them onto this loader that we found. Roy is a little bit distracted by Tikus digging around in this other droid, because Tikus seems somewhat fascinated, but manages to pull stuff off there, whereas Rissik has just reached up and wrenched something off the side of the ship for a spike. You are definitely getting your ramming spikes, because you have just pulled part of the wing off, and that will weld on nicely, that will. You have a pile of things on a hover platform. Tikus, you finished messing around inside PR, and his little port closes, and he looks at you and says, "Am I going to be okay, Doc?"
I've put some repairs in to deal with the structural damage, and I've just tweaked your operating system to hopefully make things a little bit cleaner and faster for you, and also so that when you have so that our friends are all fine here.
Okay. What are you doing here? Why are you? What are you doing? Are you hiding?
Well, I was about to say we are building a racer for the Junker Cup Soapbox Derby, and we were coming here for some spares, and we were wondering if maybe you wanted to come back with us and maybe push this hover buggy for us. And if you do, we will give you a full oil bath and a clean down as a thank you and payment when we get back to our house.
I could help with repairs. I can help hovering. I live for hovering. Maybe I can help.
Well, that'd be great. Would you like to join our racing team? Or, quick sidebar, if you don't mind. Team?
And Tikus kind of takes a step away.
Yeah?
What do we think about maybe having PR join our team as a pusherer?
Yeah?
Yeah, he'd be good.
Between Rissik and Drenzo, PR is just hovering there, looking at you all. He hasn't really gone on to... He doesn't really understand what a sidebar is.
Neither does Tikus. It's something his parents say, so he just assumes that, like, when he says sidebar, people stop listening.
Yeah.
It's only polite. I mean, I don't when my parents have one, but that's because I'm a very rude little boy.
Well, you probably need a droid on the team.
Hey, well,
Yes, we do.
And Tikus suddenly turns round and looks at you all and kind of, like, touches his nose with a hand in each succession. So he looks at Roy and touches his nose with his upper right hand, and then drops that and looks at Drenzo and touches his nose with his lower right hand, then looks at Rissik and touches his nose with his upper left hand, then looks at PR and touches his nose with his lower left hand.
PR winks conspiratorially at you, doesn't really know what's going on.
Roy puts his hand to his chest, opens a compartment, pulls out a tissue and offers it to Bar.
you need a hanky?
Yes, thank you, because that's something that all four of us organics need every now and then.
And he nods really exaggeratedly at all of you, including PR.
You organics do leak.
Drenzo just loudly says, "Wink!" Where's a helmet? He's winking.
That is a really good point. Oh no, I look at the idea that every now and then when he's at home he just has to do things like say, sad face. Oh.
Oh dear. So Mandalorian started emojis in the Star Wars universe, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to build you a little, like, 8-bit display in the middle of your forehead on your helmet where you can just, like, pump emojis up there and that's...
Just flashcards.
Yeah.
Then it's decided then. I'll be the team droid mascot. He leans his little clappy arms up and goes, yay!
I'm clearly not getting something here.
I'll tell you later. Right, let's load up and go home. We've got building to do.
And with that, and piling things onto the on the cart and getting the Gel 360 droid to pick it up, you trundle back towards Bar's Bespoke Blasters for a long night of getting your Junker ready for the Junker Cup in the morning. With that in mind, we'll look forward to the next episode where you will definitely be meeting robot dogs whilst flying around in the Junker Cup. Thank you to all my players, and we will see you next time.
Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.